there are many of us who have this question, how to think in English. You should broaden your thinking. You should always broaden your imagination and visualization. You should increase your level of fluency. Do not remain in the same level. I used to learn at least 25 to 30 vocabularies in a single day. How did I do that? Subject, verb, object. Memorizing this. Whenever you are structuring a sentence, I'm going to frame this sentence. So it is subject, verb, object. Yes, what you're saying is correct. But how long are you going to bear that on your mind? When are you going to practice it? Thinking alone will not help you to speak fluently in English. Hello everyone, welcome back to Englishfloww. We make you speak to the world. In today's video, let's learn to think in English. This was a question raised by Krishna in the comment section. Not only Krishna, there are many of us who have this question, how to think in English. Before answering this question, I have two questions for you all. Try answering this question. Question number 1. When you were a child, when you were learning your mother tongue, did you really approach somebody asking for how to think in Kannada or Tamil? Question number 2. When you speak in English, there is no point of mix up with Kannada or Tamil. But when you speak in Tamil or Kannada, you mix up English. There is no point of pure Kannada or pure Tamil. You don't follow that ancient Tamil, ancient Kannada. We speak in a bilingual way. Try answering these questions. You can pause the video and then you can answer it to yourself. But why, when it comes to the case of English, we have to purely speak only in English? Why don't we add up our language to it? What is the reason? Even I asked this question to many people when I was a beginner, when I wanted to learn English. I raised this question to many of my friends, many of my seniors, even to teachers, lecturers. I asked all of them. Their simple answer was, when you start sticking to your language, it happens that you're trying to translate. You will never achieve fluency in English if you're translating. Not only me, you might have heard the same answer from many of your friend circle or from your teachers, from lecturers. You have heard from all of them. But is it the truth? Shall we think practically and solve this problem today? I have few concepts for you. If you understand these concepts, I'm damn sure that it will be easy for you to learn English. Concept number 1 is, imagine there is a bucket of water. This bucket of water signifies knowledge and wisdom. On the other hand, I have objects such as kettle, water bottle, cup, mug, all these things on the other hand. Now understand this. These objects represent aid, help, or instrument. When I take a glass of water and pour it into glass, mug, cup, kettle, what happens is like it fits into it. It fits into it according to the shape. The same thing applies here. A knowledge that you have learned that has to be expressed with the help of language. Am I clear with this concept? Because many of the times we misunderstand and we have this misconception such as English is knowledge. No, knowledge is different. Thirukural is knowledge, but the same message can be expressed in different languages. Do you get my point? In Kannada also you have poems. So those poems can be expressed in different languages. So what happens here is, your aim should be to express knowledge through language. This is how you should think. You should not think in such a way that you're sticking to one point, like, yes, English is everything. I have to learn this language. Come on, my dear. Even when you are learning Kannada or Malayalam or Hindi, do you not ask the words in Tamil or do you not ask the words in Kannada? For example, in Kannada, what do we call chili? Menshinkai. So I should ask that word, particularly I should ask that word. So you don't have to think in such a way that you're translating everything. It's okay to translate. What is wrong in it? You're trying to translate a knowledge. You're not trying to translate something else. You will not end up being fooled. Concept number 2. There is a difference between familiar and unfamiliar. Let me put it in this way. You and your friend took a long journey in the forest area. Now your friend is suggesting, hey man, I know another direction. If we go by the direction, we'll reach in sooner the time. We don't have to invest much time. If we go in this way, it takes long hours. So now when the way is familiar to you, you don't have to think much about it. Because all those scenarios, all those picture, already you have it in your mind. You don't have to invest much energy into it. Now when you are going in a new direction, your brain becomes active. Now comes the real scene. You have to look into each and everything. What are the trees around? You might even end up seeing something very new. You might see some bird or you might see birds. There are different things that you will notice. So your brain becomes active. Here comes the point. Whenever you speak in English also, the same thing applies. You need to trigger your mind with curiosity to think in English. Simply to think in English, how will you think in English? When you read a story, do not stop reading the story as it is. Put your thoughts, put your perception, stimulate your ideas, get into your imagination. What if this character might have played this role? How would the story end? What if the story, without ending here, ends somewhere else with another scenario? You should broaden your thinking. You should always broaden your imagination and visualization. When you give picture to your visualization, that is when you will actually think in English. It is not simply about just throwing up all those dumping grammar rules and everything and you say that, yeah, I'm going to think in English. No. And at the same time, do not have this concept. I have seen many of my friends as well committing the same mistake. Subject, verb, object. Memorizing this. Whenever you are structuring a sentence, I'm going to frame this sentence. So it is subject, verb, object. Yes, what you're saying is correct. But how long are you going to bear that on your mind? When are you going to practice it? Thinking alone will not help you to speak fluently in English unless and until you implement it. Think, speak. Think before you speak. There is a saying, right? Why do they say? Your knowledge has to be clear. Whenever you frame a sentence also, your sentence should create some sense. For that, you need to have knowledge and wisdom. Out of knowledge and wisdom only you can frame a sentence. These are rules that are like backbones. Those are like instruments, as I mentioned. They are like kind of helpers to you. That will help you to frame a sentence. But what if you don't really have knowledge about something and how will you speak? Imagine you are good at grammar. You have scored 100 out of 100 in grammar. What is the point? There is no significant role that you can play in terms of conversations. Another concept is you are thinking to have 6 packs. Now thinking alone will not help you to have 6 packs. You need to think, you need to process, you need to proceed, you need to see the progress. For that you have to go to the gym, right? Or you have to do the workouts at home itself. So every single day you got to give inputs to your brain. Only when you give inputs to your brain, you'll be able to think. For example, try explaining the scenarios. Try expressing your emotions. You need to emote it out. There are times we try to put everything into ourselves. We never want to express it. Try expressing it. Otherwise, how will you understand? How will you comprehend things? The major problem is that we always want to speak fluently in English. What are the actions that we really take? Are those actions corrective ones? Are those actions helpful ones? Really, we have to question ourselves. I'm so happy for Krishna for raising this question, because this has created so much impact in me. I hope this will create so much impact in you also, because when I was learning English, I had the same question. I did just go around and ask people, try to figure it out, like what is the exact reason that people are not able to speak in English. Whereas people find it easier to learn other languages. They learn it faster. Why? When I went from here to Mysore for my higher education, to be frank, I was not fluent in Kannada. I was fluent only in Tamil. There was no other language that I was fluent in. So slowly, I started speaking to people. I started asking them, what is this? The way I used to speak in Kannada was terrific initially. Terrific. My friends used to laugh at me badly, like, what are you trying to express? We don't really understand. But these are the fun moments. You just have to accept it. You just have to enjoy the moment. Sometimes those sentences that I made in Kannada was ridiculous, because I don't know the formation, right? I don't even know the grammar in Kannada. I don't even know to script Kannada. Except Tamil, I don't know to script. English and Tamil, I don't know to script any languages. But I can speak. Few other languages I can speak fluently. So you just have to make an interest. You just have to start amongst your friend circle, or you have to try approaching institutions, or you have to seek help from who is senior to you, someone who is fluent in English. People are so genuine if you go up to them and ask or seek help. So from next time onwards, do not hesitate. And haste makes waste. Do not be nervous, do not shiver when you are seeking for help. You are seeking knowledge, and try learning vocabularies. That is one of the biggest things that you should do every single day. Vocabularies in terms of noun, adjective, adverbs, these will actually enshrine your conversations. When you want to speak in English, we lack with basic words. What are those basic words? I'm not asking you to learn all those professional words. No. Simple words. Every single day, how do you spend your day? What are the objects that you encounter? What are the things that you see? For example, if you look at vegetables or fruits, bottle gourd, avocado, snake gourd, bitter gourd, these things actually we have known these names in Tamil or Kannada, but let's give it a try to learn those names in English as well. When you don't know something, try to learn it. That attitude should be there with you always. Do not ignore it. Ignorance will always lead you to destruction. So when there is something that you really don't know, that particular day itself you should learn, because I have faced worse situations. There are times I have been lethargic. I didn't really learn vocabularies. I was thinking, I know to speak in English. I really had that overconfidence. Yes, I have mastered this language. I know grammar rules. I can speak fluently in English. But imagine, everyone is not in the same level. Every single day you should increase your level. You should increase your level of fluency. Do not remain in the same level. I used to learn at least 25 to 30 vocabularies in a single day. How did I do that? I used to read books, whether it's fictional, non-fictional, biographies, autobiographies, whatever it is. I used to simply read. So whatever the vocabularies that I encounter, I used to pen down, I used to write it on sticky notes, I used to put it on the wall. Whenever I am passing by that way, or whenever I am having a glance at it, I really understand what is the meaning of that vocabulary. So when learning vocabulary also, you need to learn certain tricks and logics. You need to know the meaning of it. You need to know the terminology of it. When you have a clarity with a word, you will not misuse that word in a sentence. When you misplace a vocabulary, it entirely sounds different. You might end up somewhere in a conversation where you want to say something, but you will end up expressing something else. So from next time onwards, when you want to think in English, have all these tips that I have told you. And I think so, this video was clear to you all and it will be helpful to you all. See you all in my next video. Until then, this is Sonia signing off from you all. Bye bye. Take care guys.